You guys got back together. You wanted to get some feeling back from back in the old days, like Brimstone Sluggers.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah. You want to expand on that?
Well, I mean, we wanted to go back to what we had done originally. I think that, when we first started working, it was just me and him in a small studio in downtown Los Angeles, and it was very organic and cool and underground. And then, a lot of people caught on to what we were doing, and we got thrown into this, big corporate machine that kind of didn't necessarily take us to where we wanted to be as a band. And then at the same time, there was a lot of things that came with it, like personal drug issues and chaos and so that's where it threw us apart, and we went through a lot of stuff. But
so to bring it back, what we wanted to do was bring it back to our roots, and for when we first actually met and we're making music together, and nobody knew any of the music that we did as the Brimstone Sluggers. It's just what we called ourselves. That was just in our own little world. And
how did you come up with that? Because it doesn't smell really good, does it? Brimstone.
Well, no, it's kind of like us against the end of the world.
Us against the end of the world, It's
so if you can imagine like a baseball player standing there, and fire and brimstone is coming from the heavens, and we're just, hitting it back into the universe. Yeah.
Yeah. It's always good to have people who can do that.
And especially now, it really makes sense because more than ever, we feel like it's us against the world. And for us as a band, and with the other guys too, we're just so tight knit, and we really it feels like us against the world, and it's the best feeling ever, and we're in it as a team.
Looking back a bit, explaining for younger viewers, downtown LA back then, that was pretty tough place to live, was it?
Well,
I remember Rodney King case back then and stuff like that. Riot.
They were just starting to refurbish it and to build it up and to make it what it's become now.
It was actually what is now like the art district down there. It's very
it was
very cool.
It wasn't that bad. I had a loft space that was really nice, and there was actually another friend who was a producer who lived in there as well, and there were artists in there, and it wasn't that bad. It was actually a really cool, creative place to work. Yeah.
Where do you live now? Do you still live in LA?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, both of us do. I live in Hollywood, right by the Capitol building. He lives in.
I'm in the West Valley.
There you go. I used to live in Van Nuys, Sherman Oaks.
Okay, cool. I'm in Woodland Hills.
There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You've mentioned it a bit. You've lost band members on the way over the years. Pretty tragic. You yourself went through tragic moments. How is that? Do you need a psychiatrist every day or something?
No, I think life just
it's almost expected. You know what I'm saying? We're in recovery, so we understand. It's like that shit happens.
I was in recovery before I ever got a record deal. I had been in rehab since I was I'd been using drugs since I was a kid, and making records and traveling the world doing drugs was my dream.
Yeah.
And I got to do it, and then I got to ride it into the ground and find out that it's not all it's cracked up to be.
And everybody expected him to be the one that passed away.
Everyone thought I would die, just like everyone expects Keith Richards to die.
I remember that. Yeah.
Well, there's still a lot of people that think that he's still dead. We're out here playing shows trying to tell the world that we're back and we're better than ever.
I just read something about Keith Richards saying that he outlived
You're the reverse Jim Morrison. Everybody thinks he's still alive, and everybody thinks you're dead.
Right,
exactly.
You got tons of material left. But what about the lost tapes? Will they ever be released?
Yeah, I think what we're gonna do is, originally we were gonna put them out. It wasn't so much of a plan of let's get back together. It was like, we have all these songs, let's get them out to our fans. But we started working, and doing one or two new songs turned into let's do a whole new record. And find a way to put out those lost tapes. Maybe we'll like have a separate record or bonus edition after the new record comes out. We're still trying to figure that out. Yeah.
Were you surprised by the reaction of the fans? Even like fans from the old days, they say, "Well, great, they're back," you know?
Actually, I feel like this is really, actually, it's better than it was before. Like now it's like we've been gone so long that people want us back. And I think when we left, we oversaturated ourselves, and the labels had really like taken our single to a place where it was, just over the top.
Oh yeah. The butterfly guys.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
It was almost a burden.
So it made us, or me in particular, made me like want to run and hide and do drugs and do whatever. Now like I'm coming back out of the cave, and I feel like that's kind of drifted away, and I'm ready to go out and make music and do what I love doing.
Because people don't care about it anymore. Great, you got a hit single. That's excellent. Great show.
So
see, it reminds me a bit of an old friend of mine passed away years ago. He got the #1 Billboard. It was Rock Me Amadeus.
right.
Back in '86, and he always felt like shit, man. I mean, good to have accomplished that, but I see it as a curse, He was like, "Fuck you, man. What do I do now?" So, but
now we're just gonna make more.
Yeah, because what happens is when a single reaches that sort of iconic level of success, you're almost expected to repeat it over and over and over again. And if you don't, especially when you have a major corporation behind you, it's almost deemed as a failure. So where are you going to go from there? Yeah. All we want to be able to do is do the music that we love to do, tour the world, write, new records all the time and do what we love to do. But when you have a record of that iconic status, it puts you in a whole other realm of business that you never really intended on getting into,
Well, let's say that was like on the surface. Because on the other side, I mean, you had your own fan base that knew, okay, there was also Toxic and, really hits there.
The problem there with that was that we were with Columbia Records, and they were a very pop-oriented record label, and there was nobody there spearheading and a way and a plan as to how to stay in touch with our core fans. It was like they were like a one-trick pony, the one-trick Sony-Pony, and so we toured, and we played small stages, big stages. We toured with heavy bands, everybody from Slipknot to Head PE to Linkin Park, and we were all coming up together. And then boom, the success of Butterfly, and a little bit of success, and then Sony and Columbia pressed that button, and that was their one trick that they knew how to do. And then nobody knew the road to get back to where we needed to get. And it kind of left us in.
It kind of just shot us into space.
Yeah, and
we were just out there like, where exactly do we go? We're not at rock radio anymore. We're being played on pop radio, but we're not a pop band.
Right.
And it just kind of left us out there,
So we figured, let's just go away for 10 years and then we'll come back with our next record.
We went and built a whole new civilization on another planet. Now we're ready to expose it.
Yeah.
But what's up? This is Shifty and Epic from Crazy Town, and you are watching MULATSCHAG, the only TV you need.